they're getting tonight. So you'll see in just a second. But first of all, so I get a call. I'm on vacation, and we're at Lake Powell, and I get a call the first week of July. And they tell me, they said, Matt, the WFFL is falling apart. They said all the teams are leaving. There's not going to be an A-League. The Kaysville's gone. Layton's gone. Brigham City's gone. We'd already lost Syracuse. We'd already lost Farmington. We'd already lost Northridge. And they're saying, we got to make a decision. We want you guys to go to the U Conference. And they said, if you stay, there's not going to be the same level of teams that you've played in the past. And honestly, we thought, well, this could be a really easy year. And the easier thing, truthfully, would have been to just go back and play teams that we'd already played and fewer of them. I called the coaches, then we reached out to parents, and we tried to figure out what should we do. We wanted to keep the team together. We wanted to challenge them. And so the U Conference, we rallied, and they rallied, and next thing you know, we're in a conference. And we knew a lot of things were going to happen. We knew that we weren't likely going to have any home games. We hoped we might, but we knew there was a chance we wouldn't, and we didn't. We knew that we were going to travel all over the place, and we did. We knew that we were going to play kids that were huge, and they were bigger than we thought. We knew that we were going to play older kids. A lot of these teams had ninth graders on them. Most of them had ninth graders on them that we played against all year. A lot of teams had kids that did the same grade twice for football reasons, which means they were over a year older than our kids. And it wasn't a few, it was several. And so we knew that going into this league was not going to be easy. And we talked about it. We said, we might lose a game or two, and we did. But we knew that it would help us grow as coaches, but more importantly, that these young men would grow into be better football players, taking a more difficult road, which it absolutely was. And I'm telling you right now, we go in and we play Viewmont. And we were clicking and we beat Viewmont. And then I get a call from the director of the U Conference, and he says, we've reworked your entire schedule. They did not like that at all, that we beat Viewmont. And we thought we had to beat teams big in order to get considered for the final. So we did exactly what we thought we were told to do. And so when we did that, he didn't like it at all. And he says, okay, you guys want to get tested, we're going to test you. So then we play Harriman, who was the top finalist in the year before, and we beat Harriman. And then we played Bingham, and we realized real quick, we're up 14-0 at half. And then we had a second half, and we realized real quick that this is not the teams we've played before. These teams are challenging and big, and we lost a tough game. We then went to our nemesis, Syracuse, the team that talks more trash than any team I've ever been on. And I like these guys. I like them. But they had talked trash all year long, and the social media stuff. Notice I didn't post anything ever, but at the same time, they were the loudest on it. And it was challenging to play that team. Probably the toughest loss we've ever had. They were big and strong, and they manhandled us. And we said, okay, we need to do things different. But more importantly, we looked at our boys. That could have been a real time to lose 2 games in a row to a team that hadn't lost many games. And it was really a decision point. Do they keep going? Do they stay focused? Do they kind of cave, right? And I can tell you, being around your young men, you need to be proud of them because they didn't cave. They didn't flinch. They knew they needed to get better, and they did. They got better. We then on, and I think it was Davis next who we beat. And then we ended up playing Hunter, who I thought, where's Corbin? I used to think you were big, right? And we realized you're more than big because this Hunter team was just enormous in every way. I mean, I bet you they had, well, I know they had, they told us 8 kids over 260 pounds. 8 kids over 260 pounds that we played against that day. And that's not the upper edge. That was just 260 or more. And our boys somehow gutted out a tough win in a style of play that changed us. And we won that game. We then go into Brighton. Okay? And Brighton, again, huge and talented and a top 8 team from the year before. And as we played them, we lost by 1 point. A tough game. They could have 10 plays go different our way. We win that game. But we didn't. But the boys, again, bonded together, didn't flinch, and we go in and play Corner Canyon, the top team in the state of Utah. Their high school team's playing for the state championship on Friday. And their head coach is involved in their youth program. He picks their quarterback. He picks their A team. He's very involved. So it's his offense they run. And so when we had to go play them, this is where we were. We win that game, we're in the Final Eight. We lose that game, we're not in the Final Eight. That was what was at stake. So they go in to one of the best programs in the state, and they beat them. And the funny thing was, they expected to. It wasn't like something that they didn't think they'd accomplish. I'm almost to the end of the season, by the way. But the next week, the playoffs come out, right? And the seedings. And I know Jeff, and he's awesome. He let us in the league, but he did not want a 3A high school winning his U Conference state championship. So I guarantee you, when they did those seedings, and we get a 6, they gave us number 3, which was Syracuse, right? The team that somehow we couldn't get over. Big and huge. They have a kid by the name of Pula, nicest kid you could meet. He's also 300 pounds. And an amazing player. And they have about 8 other kids just like him. And talent everywhere. Unbelievable challenge. First of the game, they run a pump back on us. Within the few seconds, we're down. That's when a lot of teams just cave and quit. Right? We've lost to them before. They're too good. What a great year. We made the Final Eight. Right? That would have been the message. But they didn't back down, and they kept playing and playing and playing, and they beat Syracuse. I don't think I've been more excited in a sports moment in my life than when we beat that team for so many reasons. But the biggest reason is I knew our boys were afraid of no one at that moment. Corner Canyon thinks we get lucky in the first game. We get them in the second round, the Final Four of the playoffs. You know how I know they think we got lucky? Because they told me you got lucky in that game. They said it. And when we went to play them, they were shocked twice. When we beat them twice in the same season. In fact, I talked to one of their coaches recently, and he still looked at me. He says, I have no idea how you beat us twice. And I just smile and go, yeah, it's weird, right? But we just didn't beat them. We beat them. We beat them. We executed, and we're more focused. So then we go and have amazing adversity in the season. One of our best players breaks his hand, finishes that game against Syracuse with a broken hand. That's pretty awesome. On another play, right before half, we give up a big touchdown right with seconds before. Later on, that same kid catches a big pass to the 5-yard line. In the next play, Bridger puts a perfect ball on an third read in his progression. Third read, 1, 2, 3 for a touchdown that really helps us win that game. Again, overcoming adversity. Teammates having his back all the way through the win. We then go on through and we beat Corner Canyon, and then we get to Mountain Ridge. Mountain Ridge is 10-0. 2 of the kids on that team's dads played in the NFL, and I guarantee you could pick the 2. They had other kids that you're going to read about in the newspaper on Saturday, well, or online, I guess, and you're going to see them play college football. Unreal talent. I mean, unbelievably. If we'd have lined up and picked kids, it'd have been a minute before a few of ours were picked. I promise. I mean, just physically dominant. And even the coaches, I talked to Brighton's coach and I talked to Corner Canyon's coach right before the game. This is what they told me. We knew that one of our best players had just broken his collarbone in the third quarter of the Corner Canyon game. And they basically said to me, I'm sorry he's hurt. You guys had a great season. You need to be proud of what you've accomplished. Or in other words, you have no chance of winning. You're done. Good job, guys. Thanks for showing up, Morgan. And the kids that committed in that game, going back to Corner Canyon, when our player got hurt, you know, it could have been a point we quit. We can't win without him. But no, they played for him. And they carried him through this next game as well, through Mountain Ridge. And as they did it, we played this amazingly talented team that was 10-0, that honestly was a little overconfident and really sloppy. And we went to them, and and I don't care what anyone says, we beat them. We ran the ball, we passed the ball, we played defense, we executed. There was very, very few errors. We had 0 turnovers. Bridger had 4 touchdown passes. We had great tackles. Everyone else stood up, and we beat what everyone thought was the unbeatable team at 10-0. Very few teams go undefeated in the U Conference. And this year, no one did in our division. We beat them. Yes, I'm proud they won. And it's uncommon to go in and win championship. But more importantly, it's that they didn't back down. They overcame adversity. And our whole theme was this, is we're giant killers, right? We're going to go against giants and we're going to win. And they did. And that they'll carry that with them the rest of their lives, knowing that there's no challenge they can't overcome. I'm proud of them for that they don't back down, and that they play together, and that they're a team, and they get just as excited for every individual success because they know it's their own. So guys, the 2023 U Conference champions there. So the parents got you an awesome